You are listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. All right, man, you know what time it is. We're back. We back in the building early. It's the Washington Commanders post-game show, preseason post-game show. The Commanders defeated the Cleveland Browns 17-15. Mom Wole, joined by my co-host Glenn. Hey, Glenn, what's good, bruh?
Nothing much, man. I'm good. I'm glad I'm still up. It's almost midnight.
I know, right?
Right? But we had to get the post game in, man. I'm not gonna say it was an exciting game. It was good to see football back. The Washington Commanders back on the field, playing football. And there's a little bit of buzz about this team, and I think everybody's happy to see them actually play a game.
Definitely. Hey, but it's that rain definitely halted some things, man. Like, I won't lie to you, the rain was. I was like, good God, man, you're blowing my vibe. The rain blew my vibe. And then they started kind of slow, but it is what it is. Before we get to the game, let me get into the particulars. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Gold, Errrything. Also, tweet us at ABG_Errrything. And hit us up on IG at ABG_Errrything. And like our All Burgundy and Gold, Errrything Facebook page. You comment on any of those platforms about this show, we'll try to read that. Read your comments on this post game show. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Errrything YouTube channel as well. You're listening to it right now. Hit subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button. Hit some have some comments, and we'll read those off on this show as well. All right, let's get right into it, man. First, man, obviously everybody's been waiting on Sam Howell. They wanted to hear about Sam Howell. How would you grade Sam Howell's performance? He was 9 for 12 for 77 yards and a touchdown pass.
I give him a B. I'm not gonna give him an A because it's preseason. I give him a B. He commanded the offense. They did have a slow start, right? It did take him a little while to get going, whether it's because of the rain, whatever case may be. The offense did have to take a time. They did move a little bit slowly, right? But once they got going, 9 for 12, that is not shabby, right? 9 for 12. Then he also had 8 yards rushing tonight as well. That had the touchdown to Jahan Dotson. I think, to me, he played very well, right? He stayed within his wheelhouse and did what he did well, and did what he did. And I think that this team should have some excitement around it. The organization has some excitement around it, and you can see the swagger in the field and everybody who's playing this game, even Sam Howell. So I think, to me, I give him a B. A B minus, a B, just because it's so hard. But I think there's always room for improvement.
Always.
I think he gets better. I think he gets better each week.
Yeah, for me, I gave him an A. I just thought, like, he started off slow. I didn't blame him for that. I blame the offensive line. I think all the stuff we heard from folks that have come on the show questioning the offensive line has been true. We saw that the first two series. Wiley was having issues on the line. 2 holding calls. One was a safety because he held in the end zone. But in terms of Sam Howell, I was impressed with his play. I think he avoided pressure with his legs. He had a beautiful pass to John Bates. Though it was a holding call on Wiley. It was a beautiful ball, but Bates dropped it. I thought he did a lot of things. He got the ball out quick. I didn't try to force the issue, which I do like. Again, it's like when you have playmakers and talent like Washington has, you don't need to make the spectacular play. You got guys who can make plays for you. And for example, the touchdown pass to Jahan Dotson. It wasn't a perfect pass, but Jahan Dotson adjusted to it, made a play, and scored a touchdown. When you got ballers like that, you don't need to throw the perfect pass or make the perfect play. You already got guys who can do all the work for you.
Yeah, you get guys definitely do all the work for you, and I think that's one of the keys that's going on there, that you get guys to actually do the work for you, and guys that you want to get the ball in space. We even saw that when the backups came in, right?
Yeah.
When Fromm came in, and he got the ball out quick to the running backs and was able to get back and get into space. And that's what you'll see in in this offense, right? You'll see this in Eric Bieniemy's offense, where you'll see they establish it. You see the run, and then you'll see guys getting space. Look at Kansas City, right? How Kansas City would get the balls to their playmakers, and they make plays. It wasn't not deep down the field. He would throw deep down the field to Tyreek and those like that. But a lot of things were in space, and the athletes moved the ball around. and we starting to see that in Washington. I mean, look, even tonight, I know it's preseason, but look at how they move the ball around. Both quarterbacks, Jacoby Brissett as well as Sam Howell. It wasn't just one receiver who was catching on the balls. They moved the ball around, and they took what was open instead of years past where there was quarterbacks forcing things.
Yeah, we had a poll on our Twitter a Twitter account. It said what's your grade on Sam Howell's performance tonight? 57% had A, 39% had B, 2% had C, and 2% had incomplete. In the beginning of the game, I thought they were going to take him out. It's wild. So were you surprised? I'm asking you this question about Sam Howell. Were you surprised that they played him? They extended his play into the second quarter?
No, remember I said that this week on the podcast.
Yeah.
I said on the podcast that I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Howell played up until the second quarter. I think they needed to get that. They needed to get his jitters out. They also needed to give the fans a taste of what Sam Howell could do. They needed to make sure Sam Howell could be established behind his offensive line, especially if the offensive line was keeping him upright. You know what I'm saying? If it was keeping him upright, he wasn't getting in harm's way. Go ahead and let him play as much as he could. And we saw the same thing with Jacoby Brissett, because Jacoby Brissett played the rest of the second quarter and part of the third quarter as well. So I think it was a plan going out that we're gonna let these guys go play a quarter and a half.
Yeah, I agree. I think that because of the play of the O-line, they need to get, it's important to have momentum going into the next game, right? Or for a young quarterback to show that this is your first opportunity to start. You want to have momentum, you want to have confidence. You don't want him to leave a game on a sour note, right? I mean, he didn't have a turnover, and he wasn't bad even before that. He was 4 for 5 for a while. Like, he was 4 for 5. I think it was threw complete over 30 yards at that particular point in time. So it wasn't like he had a bad showing, but you wanted him to have some momentum, having a scoring drive, to have him feel good going into the next preseason game. So I think that it was a good idea, good move by Coach Bieniemy, good move by Coach Rivera to extend it, because I think now, you're going to only feel good out of like having an outcome like that, having a scoring drive. If you look at your stat sheet, you only had 3 incompletions, 77 yards. So you moved the football. You avoided pressure. You show arm strength, arm skill. You showed a way to manage the game. You show how you can make plays in duress situations. He did a lot of good in this game. So I think that him staying longer to the second quarter is something that I want. Felix Tremel, Fox Sports, Washington Commanders reporter for this station, he came out and said, like, when Felix said that, like, for this team, which is important, like, since it's shortened preseason games, like, maybe sometimes they would see more, they would play more and play see how would play a little bit more in terms of this preseason. So I think that, we're seeing that. Like, I expect him to play a little bit more in this preseason. Glenn, you may have said it. It may not have been Felix. It may have been you too that said that. Like, you expect that since it's shortened preseason games, like it used to be 4, now it's 3, that you could see Sam Howell play a little longer.
Yeah, I think that's the case. When you get him to play, we all know that third game, your starters are not going to play, right? We know third games, the starters are not going to play. The third game is for the young guys to be auditioning, either to make this team or to audition in NFL to go to another team. So now you have Sam Howell who'll play against the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Next week on Monday night game, and we'll see him there against the Ravens defense. I'm looking forward to that because I want to see him against the Ravens defense. How does he adjust to the Ravens defense? And because we know if you follow the Baltimore Ravens wants to win preseason games, right? Yeah. They want to win preseason games, and this game, if this is going to be a preseason game, it's going to be real competitive.
So for you, Glenn, we always talk about Chase Young, though. He left the game with a stinger, which was, I think they were being safe with that, because I think he could have came back and played. But from what you saw in that early sample size, what did you think of Chase Young's play?
I think he's healthy, right? You saw the speed, you saw his healthiness, you saw that Chase Young can be a good contributor to this team. And I'm not one of the biggest Chase Young fans. I like Chase Young. Let me see. I think this team can win without Chase Young, but this team is better with him. You know what I'm saying? As a player, Chase Young brings energy, and he's a leader. And he's a leader in the locker room. That's what you want. But again, you have number 1 draft picks all along that line, that defensive line, right? Your first round draft picks around along that defensive line, and all those guys can get the job done. But I think Chase did it good tonight. I think I think Washington did a good job, taking him out once he got the stinger, not putting him back in. Come on, this guy's playing. He's playing for money. Let's not do anything in a preseason game to mess his money up. I mean, it's honest. He's playing this season for his money.
Yeah.
Right. This season is the Chase Young money season. So we'll see him go all out because he wants that bag.
No, I agree. I like what I saw from Chase Young. I thought he had pressure. I thought he almost had a sack. He went down. So I felt like I saw, obviously, like he does look healthy. He looks healthy. He looks like he has a burst. I felt like I saw a counter move, which surprised me. Compared to I'm not gonna lie, it did surprise me because he didn't have a counter move for the last couple of years. So I know now he's taking his craft seriously. I would have loved to see him play a quarter. I would have, but I get it. You know what I mean? And if you're a guy trying to play for the bag, because you're right, you're trying to play for a bag and you get nicked up, you're not going to sacrifice your body for another. You know what I mean? You're not going to sacrifice your body. So I get it. I understand because the league don't owe you. The league will throw you away once you're done, right? So I get it. Once you hurt, it is what it is. It's a preseason game. You ain't getting those real game checks.
and the real game checks, dog. Yeah. And we need those real game checks and let him. Again, he needs to stay healthy. I think this team needs him to stay healthy.
They do.
And his career, and I dare not say, needs him to stay healthy.
Yeah, they need him. So for you, Glenn, other than the obvious, well, let's go. You mentioned Jacoby Brissett. What were your thoughts on Jacoby Brissett? Because he started the game off hot, and then obviously the turnover, but still.
The turnover. We talked about the turnover off air. It was just one of those places. I think it was 17 seconds left in the first half. When they got the interception, he's just trying to make a play. And, he threw it up just hoping that one of the athletes would make a play. But what I did learn from Jacoby Brissett is that he can run this offense.
Yes,
right.
He can.
That Jacoby Brissett can run his offense. That if something happens to Sam Howell, that the Washington Commanders are not in dire straits from years past, where it's who's the next up? Sam Howell, Jacoby Brissett is a decent quality backup who has been a starter in this league. My wife asked me who's that? And I said, well, that's Jacoby Brissett. And I ran down his resume, right? He used to back up Tom Brady. He did it. He was a starter in Indianapolis. He was he's been a starter in this league. He's also been a backup to one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And so Jacoby Brissett can play in this league. So I'm not worried at all if something happens to Sam Howell because Jacoby Brissett can run his offense and command the guys in the locker room and have their respect.
So you mentioned we talked about this offline, but in terms of tight ends have always been featured in an Andy Reid offensive system. You have Eric Bieniemy, coming from that tree. Obviously, you know about Travis Kelce and whatnot, but we saw Cole Turner, a guy that was hit with injury last season as a rookie. Now got the opportunity to play. This season. He was tight end number 1 because Logan Thomas didn't play. But he looked effective, man. He looked good. I believe he had 3 catches. No, it's there's 4 catches. 4 catches for about for about 31 yards, I believe.
Yeah, he has 4 catches for 31 yards.
Yeah,
31 yards. And I thought he looks good. I like to see the tight ends get involved. We saw more running backs catching the ball out of the backfield tonight as well. So you got to see those things within the Commanders' offense, and I think that is the Eric Bieniemy effect, where you see those plays and see those guys get involved, and that's what we're looking for. It wasn't not because Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett can't throw down the field. It's because they're taking what is given to them by the defense.
Yep. Great. No, I agree. I just thought I liked him. I think that he's the tight end. Even with Logan coming back healthy, I think he's a guy that is the guy that I would like to see start. To be honest with you, if Logan's 100%, great. You do want to see Logan ball out, but this kid is younger. He used to play. He's got wide receiver skills. He has good hands. You saw that pass he caught up the middle. I thought he has wide receiver. He showed agility. He's a guy, and he seemed very reliable when the ball's in his vicinity. So he's a guy I do want to see play a lot, man. I just think that he showed out, and I think that the Commanders have a bunch of weapons. They're going to surprise a lot. I even like the rookie Rodriguez. It's Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Oh my, he's a thumper, and he's a guy who did it in college at the highest level, averaged over 5 yards a carry as a back in the SEC. So to me, they got guys, man. They got guys. They got a lot of talented dudes on this offense. But for you, Glenn, who were some of the positive players that caught your eye, other than the obvious?
Some of the guys that caught my eye tonight. I liked Holmes. I believe Christian Holmes.
Okay.
Just because he's a hitter. You're right. He's a hitter.
Yeah.
Christian, you saw him. He was thumping people.
Yeah, he's stopping. He's stopping.
Even Wild Goose, right?
You like Wild? Okay, I did not like Wild Goose. His name was traumatizing to me. I'm sorry.
There was some plays that he was always in the mix, right?
He was though. I'm with you.
But he was always in the mix, and that's what I look for in preseason. Look for guys who are around the football, right?
That's true. That's true.
And he was a guy that was around the football majority of the night. He was around the football as well. So it was good to see him that was there. Reeves.
Reeves looked good.
Reeves looked good, right? Reeves looked good. And so I like to see those guys. I like to say this secondary. I mean, we talked about last year. This secondary cut last year. We talked how bad the secondary had a slow start, right? Right. The secondary took a beating for the first couple of weeks, right? And so now the secondary is playing at a higher level, and the secondary is at the same. I'm not gonna say the same level as the front four, but when you have both of the guys playing at a high level, it's going to be good. Another guy that caught my eye tonight was Smith Williams. I think Smith Williams is always around the football. Last year, 3 sacks. This year, first preseason game, he got a sack tonight. So Smith Williams is one of those guys
he looked
good. It's always around the football. So those guys are the guys who caught my eye.
Oh wow! So for me, I thought the whole second unit on defense was balling. I thought they were better than the first unit. They played that secondary was angry. Like even Forrest played good too. The rookie Forrest played good. Let me give him his flowers. He looked good. Obviously, that key stop on I think it was second or third down when he hit the back in the backfield. He caught the back and got into a fit. And then obviously Montez Sweat sealed the deal on 4th down to stop him on 4th and goal. But he played well. I thought that Percy Butler with the interception. Percy Butler was good. Oh, he looked good. He looked good, man. I wanted him to take it to the house. He had speed. You saw the speed.
Yeah.
I thought that who else? Eifler, number 46 linebacker played well. He forced the fumble. I think he was on the 3rd unit, forced the fumble from the running back. I think that back was I forget. I think number 25 for the Bengals. I mean for the Browns. He forced the fumble for 25 from the Browns. He thought he played well. So many guys played well, man. That whole defense second unit was very impressive, though. Very impressive. I was really impressed. Pringle consistently plays well. Pringle played well. I mentioned Rodriguez. I want to see more number 10, the returner, Kasir. What's his last? Allen, right? Allen. Kasir Allen. Yeah, I want to see him take that to me.
What I saw was interesting about the returns. He was fast, but they still only got like the 20, 25-yard line. So
he was going wide. He was doing wide. He was messing. When he went straight though, you saw that when he get the holding call. When he goes straight, you see it though. Like I'm with you. Like that was my complaint about him. I was like, you go like he's wide. He runs wide.
I need you to hit that hole and go.
Yeah, he needs to just go. Like you can't. The wide you can't do that. This is not Madden. This ain't Madden. Yeah. This ain't Madden like in the 1999. This is like or 97. This is Madden. You gotta play Madden like it's today's Madden, like it's real life. You know what I mean? But yeah, he was that. Those are probably the folks that stood out to me. Obviously, like we didn't mention Jahan Dotson. We talked about this offline, like what we thought of Jahan Dotson. We don't need to start no controversy out here, but what we think about Jahan Dotson, this is some elite stuff. We think of some elite stuff when it comes to Jahan Dotson. But for you, Glenn, what were some of the negatives then, man? Because everything wasn't good.
Negative was offensive line. Slow start offensive line. You see, you have to be able to not make mistakes, right? The offensive line gave up 2 points. Regular season, that could cost you a game.
Facts.
Right? You got to understand the holding call, understand the situation down the distance. Those guys have to be able to be consistent and stay on stay. We said it last year, and I'm gonna say it again this year. They have to play in front of the sticks, right?
Yep.
They have to play in front of the sticks. The 3rd and 9s, the 3rd and 10s, those type of plays, they have not been able to pick up, and they didn't do so tonight as well, neither. So you have to be able to. And the one that Dahami went up with one hand with Jacoby Brissett threw, that was an opportunity right there to get a first down. And I think it was late in the second quarter, maybe early third quarter. You have to be able to keep, and that go to my point, you have to keep drives going, right?
Yeah.
There has to be an offense that keeps drives going. The more points this offense can put on the board, the better off the defense is going to be. And so that was my thing, offensive line. And I still saw too many, in my eyes, from the second guy, some drop balls that should have been caught.
Yeah, for me, my negatives were the rookie Quan Martin. He's a young kid, but he had a PI, a holding call. He got beat. He
Yeah,
got
that
beat on the
PI was
touchdown.
that
No,
PI was
it
a
was BS. It was BS. I
yeah,
know. Man,
PI was,
I'm just it was BS. I'm not going. But he got beat on the slant when it went zero blitz. I think it was a zero blitz, pretty much like a zero blitz. But he got beat when the safety blitz, and it left him
yeah.
vulnerable. He got beat. He had bad technique on the inside. Gave the receiver all the space on the inside. So to me, like, he had a bad showing. It wasn't, for all the talk that we've heard about Quan Martin, like, this wasn't a good representation of what you wanted to see in Quan Martin. But again, it's early. It's the preseason, and he's young. I'm sure he can bounce back. So I'm not going to drag him and say he was some garbage or whatever. I'm not going to do that to him. I ain't gonna rock that way. Wiley, the tackle was not good. Like, he was not good. He had two holding calls. I mentioned this earlier. The one that caused the safety. He was getting beat. He just didn't look good, man. This O-line in general didn't look good. Like you mentioned, like, it was bad. Like, the whole O-line was bad. It's something that it is scary, because you want to see, maybe when cuts go down, like, maybe there are players out there that they can come in to help with depth. If you don't want to bet somebody who can come for depth, because that was scary. Like, what we saw last season, you don't want to see this season. And granted, this offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, is much better, as we can see now. Like, it's much better because he gets the ball out quick. He has his game plan to get the ball out quick. But there are going to be situations in the game where won't let you want to take a shot. Like, you may have to do a seven step drop. You can't always, get the ball out quick on a quick slant. People, defenses adjust, right? So you're gonna have to kind of like you're gonna have to hold up and man up on defense. And if you hopefully you can, but from what we saw, I don't know. It's scary.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think, because did Myles Garrett play? I don't think Myles Garrett played.
I didn't see Myles Garrett play that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Also negative. Sorry, there's another negative I have. There's another one. The first unit defense, because Nick Chubb didn't play, and Deshaun Watson walked right through you, and the back Fulton. Demetric Fulton ran all up on you. I think Fulton had like 4 carries for 21 yards early in that quarter. So nah, bro. Like, that's why I don't see Glenn. We do the show talking about training camp and stuff, and you gotta kind of like gas people up. But I'm sorry, this is why I don't like training camp. I'm telling you, people will make everybody sound like they're the best. The Chicago Bears of 80, like the 80 was it? I don't know, 80s, 85. Thank you, F85. When they would shut everybody down. When the Baltimore Ravens in 99, 2000, no, not because you're wearing non-pads and you're wearing shorts. I don't care about that crap. Like, this is what it is. Thank you. And this is what it is. And you saw it. How many people came on this show and told you, man, this defense is something. This defense is something.
But if we look at over the years, this defense with the same guys have always had a slow start.
Yes, exactly.
And we're going into the regular season. And I understand. We're talking, but let's be honest. Everything tonight was vanilla, right? There was no blitz packages. There was none of that other stuff. So he was running basically your basic defense with some covers with some cover 1, cover 2, maybe some cover 3 in the back. So it was really basic with no schemes. You're gonna get basic defense, but at the same time, you should be able to penetrate, you should be able to tackle, and you should be able to have a disruption based off of those front four, who they are. Right. They should be able to cut without having to put in any rushes or blitzes and quit a twist or anything like that for these 4 guys.
I agree. That's my thing. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, but see, this is the thing. I think you need to set the tone. You set the tone on defense early, like, and even in preseason, right? I feel like for instance, I'll give you an example. The Browns, their first unit was hitting.
Mm-hmm.
They were missing. They weren't missing tackles. They were hitting. This unit was missing tackles. The first unit was missing tackles.
Yeah,
like, they were missing tackles. That's something that you're right. You don't have to, like, to your point. Like, this team didn't blitz or whatever, but tackling lets you kind of know what you ready for, what they ready for. Like,
tackling,
you know what I mean?
Is fundamental, dog.
It's fundamental. There you go.
You've been tackling since you was in Pee Wee. Most of these guys, lower the hip, little boom, eyes to the sky, head up, drive.
That's what I'm saying. So
wrap and drive.
Yeah, but all else, they got the Ravens. They got the Ravens next week. We'll do a post game about for that show as well. But going into that game, what do you from what you saw today? What does this team need to clean up going to that Ravens game? Or go into the Ravens scrimmage, to be honest with you, before they go into the game. It's the scrimmage.
Just this week, clean up. One's tackling.
Okay.
To me, we talked about earlier, tackling. And that's something they need to clean up. Offensive line need to finish driving and protecting the quarterback, right? Yeah. Finish. I'm big on this. 1 and 2 in the red zone, right? Yeah. Finish. All right. If you look at Eric Bieniemy teams, they are exceptional. Yeah. In the red zone, right? They're above 50% in the red zone. Yeah. So this team has to not have to do that. They have to be exceptional in the red zone. 1 and 2. I do take my hat off to Joey Slye tonight. He did make a good kick.
I saw one to mention. Thank you. Joey Slye was good. He was good. He had a 49-yard kick too. Yeah.
49-yard kick.
So give him flowers. He was good.
Yeah, because I'm during the season, I'm not really big. I'm holding my breath every time Joey Slye kicks. But it is preseason, and so right now Joey Slye, I give it to him. But this team has to continue to build on this. Right? It's preseason, right? We're not. There's no preseason Super Bowl. None of this. Just to build on this because of the culture that where this team is coming from. And where they want to go with new ownership and all the buzz around this team, maybe new stadium being in DC, different places, right? They want to be able to win. You want to put a product on the field, and Ron Rivera wants to be able to put a winning product on the field as well, right? To me, one thing I noticed tonight, if you're watching the broadcast, it was more shots of Eric Bieniemy than Ron Rivera. Right?
Yeah. I do. Yeah, it's true. That's true.
If you pick that up tonight, it's more shots. If you were just a casual fan watching the program or watching the game, you would have swore that Eric Bieniemy was the head coach of the Washington Commanders and not Ron Rivera.
No, this is true. That is true. I will say this though about this game, and I'll get into like what I think they need to work on. But I thought Ron looked happy though. Like that's the happiest I've seen him.
You happy sideline? You ain't taking the press.
He looked happy, man. Like he was like, oh, it's like it's a revelation. Like he said, you know what? It's like he really believes I really got something. I got something here. Like you can tell when somebody has that epiphany. Like, you know what? I think I may have something here. Like this could be a year that we really do something.
Right.
I saw it in his face.
You got somebody gone too. So
yeah, he got somebody gone too. That's true. Yeah. which one? Like the one he has 2 people gone. So which one?
The offensive coordinator.
We think the same. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That guy. Yeah, I know, man. Like I will say this: watching this preseason game, they look way better on offense. I know it's preseason, they just look better. They look like a real NFL team. It's a real talk. They're like an NFL team.
They look more confident in what they're doing. They all believe in the system, right? We found out after Turner was released or he got fired. A lot of the guys on offense didn't believe in his system.
Not at all.
They didn't believe in him as a play caller. They are believing in Eric Bieniemy because of his track record, where he comes from, and he demands that in practice, right?
Which is great.
He demands that. Even when the reporters were talking to Jahan said, "Look, I know where I need to be at. He's using me more in this place, that place, in the area, and he trusts me. You have to want to be trusted, and when the offensive coordinator trusts you, you need to be where you need to be at when the ball gets thrown. So that's why they play on more of an upbeat, happy-go-lucky feel, and then you got a new people in the organization. So,
like I'm a believer in this, man. Look, man. Like I know there was some reports about somebody was complaining about, oh, he's coaching them too hard, and they don't like his energy or whatever. Look, man, it works. It works. You've been used to it. You've been used to a bad coach. Sorry, I'll say it. You've been used to a bad offensive coach. The best offensive coordinators are detail oriented. They just are. Sorry. So if you could be a nice guy, but you're not offensive. If you're not detail oriented, it doesn't work for you. Sometimes if your way is to be a little aggressive and have that type of energy, so people can listen and follow, then all right, you guys haven't won enough to say anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why them Bama boys, they got that in Bama. They don't complain. Even as much as I'm being a Michigan fan, as much as I don't like Ohio State, the Ohio State dudes ain't gonna complain because they got that Ohio State. Like you like the folks who lose. Sorry, and this is what it is. The folks who lose will complain because you ain't winning. You haven't won anything.
It is different, and they're different. They don't like different. Well, if you want to be a winner, you got to play like a winner, practice like a winner, and act like a winner, right?
There you go.
And so if you do all that as a winner, guess what's going to happen? You're going to eventually win games because the situation that he's putting them in is to overcome adversity, right? This team is 7-9. When you got a team that's 7-9, that means they were somewhere in that 7-9 season where they could have won a game and they didn't, and they lost focus.
Yep.
They lost focus, right? And this team lost focus several times last year. Against, the latest was against the Cleveland Browns when they had an opportunity to win a game in the playoffs, right? We go early in the season against Tennessee, right? So again, the team had lost focus throughout the year, and so Eric Bieniemy is demanding a standard, right? The standard is the standard. If you can't adhere to the standard, then guess what? You may not need to fit into this organizational program.
There you go, and that's the best way to go about it. Real quick before I end the show, I want to say, like, first, I do want to say, like, in terms about what they need going into Baltimore, play better defense. That's my thing. Offensive line is easy. Not easy. They need to do that. That we already know that. And I don't think the offensive line is going to be good against the Ravens. I'm just going to keep the buck against the Ravens. To be honest with you, I don't think if you struggle against the Browns, you're going to struggle against the Ravens. You're just going to struggle. Your offensive line will struggle. But your defense, this is supposed to be your bell cow, like tackle. Tackle. Lamar's a freak. He's a freak athlete. I don't expect you to stop Lamar Jackson in terms of stopping him running the ball. It probably won't happen. He's Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to knock him. But tackle. If you get your hands on him, tackle. If you get your hands on the backs, tackle. Wide receiver, tackle. My man Eric said, I'm not a bad game. Need O-line. Need a O-line. It's Cleveland in the preseason, so we shouldn't get too excited. Like, I agree with you, Eric, man. Like, they didn't play Nick Chubb, but they didn't play Myles Garrett. So I feel you. Like, I feel you. But at the same time, like, it's something to be excited if you're comparing it to what you saw last year or the year before last year. Mm-hmm. In terms of the offense, you saw quarterbacks moving out of the pocket. You saw the ball getting out quick. You saw different formations. You saw something totally different. It wasn't the same old when you saw with Scott Turner. So be excited about that. You know what I mean? But hey, Glenn, we're going to end this show. It's late. The rain kind of ruined it. Pushed us back. We were supposed to start around 10 something. Then it was like, then God was like, nah, you guys are going to do this later. Right. And he always wins. So you got it, Lord. You got it. Hey, before we end this show, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and go Errrything. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrything and hit us up on IG at ABG_Errrything and like our All Burgundy and go Errrything Facebook page. Do not forget to subscribe to our All Burgundy and go Errrything YouTube channel. Come on, folks, just hit that red subscribe button. Don't even be lazy. You already there. Just click it and then hit that like thumbs up. You don't be lazy. Click that too. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. For Ija, Jitty, deuces. All right, folks, y'all take it easy.
Peace.